held on December 4th. Force. May the Dragon Age Force be with you. Back up straight, slouch. So Dragon Age Day just passed, and if you don't know what or when Dragon Age Day is, it is a fundraising event created by Dragon Age fans with the help of Bioware developers, voice actors, fan artists, streamers, and many more all come together to raise money for a charity. And this year it was the NAACP Legal Fund, which I think was very successful for them, so yay. The creators of Unofficial Dragon Age Day aren't affiliated with Bioware at all. They do this all themselves in order to help positively celebrate everyone's love for Dragon Age. So a big thank you to them for all the effort and many sleepless nights I imagine that they had putting this event together. It was a big light of 2020 for me, and I just had a lot of fun and there was a lot of laughs. So firstly, I just wanted to talk about an artwork that Christian Daly shared on their Twitter. If you don't know the sad news, Casey Hudson and Mark Darrah have left Bioware, which is very sad, but also I wish them the best on whatever they want to do next. And I hope that they're just living happy and doing what they want to do and what makes them happy. But Christian Daly is taking over the role of Mark Darrah, and they shared an artwork which is new and we haven't seen. It shows an apparent, it looks like a warden in the middle, and then we have the same person that we saw in the concept art who I was falling in love with on the left here. And then we also see, it looks like a maybe Tevinter Magister or a mage, and in the background we see a two-headed dragon and looks like, I guess, Darkspawn. I wonder if these three are companions, because we obviously saw the concept art of the Antivan Crow, or I wonder if these could be the protagonists of different origin stories you could play. That would be amazing. That is what I really want. But yeah, even as companions, it would be cool. We did see some work on a warden. It'd be interesting, like having a warden background again, like in Origins. So part of celebrating Dragon Age Day, Bioware very kindly gave us 4 short stories. These stories are featuring characters from Tevinter Knights, which is very exciting because we may see them in the next Dragon Age game. And it seems to be a continuation of some of these stories in Dragon Age Tevinter Knights. So if you have not read it and you want to, go check out this book. It has so many good stories in it. So I'm going to be just sharing some of my thoughts on these short stories. So the first story I'm going to be talking about is called The Next One by Brienne Batsy. I'm so bad at last names, I'm so sorry. The artwork looks very cool. It shows a beast with some gnarly mouths and a grey warden. The story is about Warden Lawrence, who is down in the deep roads fighting off ghouls. They run into a dwarven woman named Evka, who is in hunger, written by the same writer in Tevinter Knights. We see her return in this story. But Warden Lawrence is very hurt, but he is pushing on to help Evka get out of this. And as he looks down, he is bleeding, but the blood is grey, not red. Lawrence is very determined to help Evka out of here. As they are walking, they run into a bunch of ghouls. That's when Evka notices that a spirit of perseverance has entered Warden Lawrence's body, and was summoned because of Lawrence's determination to help push through and help Evka get out of here. Evka demands that the spirit leave his body, which he does, and Evka very sweetly says, "I've got the next one for you," which is very, very sweet. So something's cool about this story is that it features beasts that are not Darkspawn, I don't think, that have the same kind of 2 different body parts, just like in the Horror of Hormak. We also read the same grey liquid. It's interesting that Lawrence looks down and is himself bleeding, I think, and he is bleeding grey liquid. Is this This is possibly the same grey liquid that was in the pool found where all the beasts were, and that's what formed the beasts into two different creatures. I really hope that Evka is in the next Dragon Age and could be a future companion. That would be amazing. So I really like this story, and it shows that we're going to be fighting a lot of beasts in the next Dragon Age, and hopefully finding out more about this grey liquid and possibly a connection to Gillinan and her creatures that she created. The next story is Ruins of Reality by John Dombrow, and it has artwork of two characters here. And on Dragon Age Day, I was watching Ash's Lady Insanity's Twitch stream, where they talked about that what they're wearing looks like the same concept art that was shown in the behind the scenes concept art, that looked like some type of cool armor or something. So I wonder if this is the same people. Is that like a connection to a Dalish clan that we may be joining up with, or is this Dalish clan on Solas's side? Is this a possible origin story that we could have, maybe? But this story takes place in the Alathan Forest, and it has two returning characters from 3 Trees to Midnight by Patrick Weeks, which is Strife and Ireland, who come from the same Dalish clan. They are in the Alathan Forest, and they were given a journal that somehow started writing itself to go and find a elven artifact in the forest. As they are in the forest is kind of playing tricks with their mind. They are seeing duplicates of themselves wandering around the forest, and that's like tricking them. Ireland finds the artifact, which is in the hands of a statue of Gillinan, and it is a glass statue of a Hala. Ireland turns into an eagle and grabs the statue, and the power and mind tricks that Ireland and Strife we're seeing all suddenly stop when they take out the artifact. So I really like this story because it had the returning characters of Strife and Ireland, who I really like and I hope appear in the next game. I wonder who made those writings appear in that journal. Was it Solas? Are the Dalish clans on Solas's side, or at least this Dalish clan on Solas's side? We know that many different groups are going after different elven artifacts. I wonder if they need this artifact to open an Illuvian, maybe. The next story is called The Wake by Mary Kirby, and it has previous characters that we have read about in 2 stories from Tevinter Nights. One, 8 Little Talons, which returns Tia and Viego, who are part of the 5th and 7th Talons of the Antivan Crows, and also we have Lucinus and Alaro, who were in the Wigmaker job. One character was restored who could be Tia at the front leading them top of a rooftop, and then we have a character who has someone flung over their shoulder, who I believe is Alaro, and it could be Viego holding him to set up the scene of this story. So this story is very interesting because it is about Lucinus, who has died, and they are holding a wake for him. Ilaro is very saddened by his cousin's death and just remembering his cousin and the stories that he would tell. It kind of seems in this story that there's like a plan going on, and I hope possibly Lucinus is not dead because he was one of my favorite characters in Tevinter Nights, and I really wanted him to be a companion in the next game, but he could be dead, I don't know. It would make sense for Lucinus to fake his death because in the Wigmaker job it made him very famous for what he did against the Venatori. At the end of the Wigmaker job we see a Magister, I think Zara, talk about wanting to go after Lucinus, as well as Lucinus is meant to be next up and taking over Caterina Del Monte's first Talon position, which he does not want to. Well, in the next game he shows up with like a fake identity and we don't know that it's him, but we know that it's him, and he's like, I faked my death, but for a good reason, because I'm a good guy. I like this story because it connects the Antivan Crows, who I really want to see more of in the next Dragon Age game. Lastly, we have Minrathous Shadows by Cheryl G. This story is about a Templar named Tarquin who walks into a tavern or establishment and sits down to play cards with a Magister woman. As they are playing, Tarquin says, why don't we raise the stakes a bit, and puts in a contract. And he says, I have a contract, Lady's Lightning Smart, and she said that contains financial records for the black market slave trade, including transactions with the Venatori cult. The Magister woman says the Venatori were eradicated. So Tarquin kind of instigates a connection to the Venatori with this Magister, and the Magister gets very angry, throws down her cards, and says that you're finished. She gets all angry, and there is magic in the air. There's love in the air. There's magic in the air. The Magister then looks up to the dealer who is standing there and says, you can't be. The Viper's just a tail. To which Tarquin tucks the Slim Ledger into their pocket and says, rigging the system only works if we play by your rules. Sunset's beautiful in Minrathous. Might want to catch it while you still can. To which the Magister replies, who are you? What do you want? Gold? Power? And Tarquin smirks and says, we're the Tevinter that you forgot. What do we want? To which the dealer appears behind the Magister, pulls down their hood and says, everything. So this is really interesting. I am wondering, who is the Viper? I don't know. If we have heard about them in Dragon Age Tevinter Nights or previous games, we may have. I don't know all about Dragon Age lore. I'm very sorry. But that's interesting. Who is Tarquin part of? Is this Viper on our side? They obviously have a lot of knowledge and power to what the Venatori are doing. Does that mean that they are going up against them, or they are wanting the Venatori to join them, like blackmail them into helping them? I'm hoping they're kind of the good guys and want to stop the Venatori, but the last line seems very mysterious. So I'm excited to find out more about the Viper and if they're good or bad or in the grey area. And yeah, so I really enjoyed all these short stories. They were a lot of fun. I really liked that they connected to Tevinter Nights, so a huge thank you to Bioware and the writers for putting this all together. It makes me excited and hopeful to see some of these characters in the next Dragon Age game. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, hopefully.